you don't have to go down the wrong path. And if you do choose to go down the wrong path, it's always outlet. Always in the back of the head, trying to do better, trying to be the best that you can be. You know what I mean? Out of 30 years, they haven't been to state, so that was just a major accomplishment. I think that kind of prepares us all for everything.
Welcome to the 8th episode of the Good Enough 2 podcast. I am your host, Herman Senior II, and I like to meet with influential and positive leaders within the community. Today, I have Mitch Alexander with me. Welcome, Mitch.
Blessed to be here, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mitch is a coach at Lanphier, Washington, and for Capital City Teamwork, and is the co-owner of a.p.e.clothing, a.p.e.clothing, always prepared for everything. Mitch, welcome. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and how your background made you who you are?
First and foremost, like you said, just a coach, head coach at 8th grade girls Washington, assistant coach at Lanphier, and then head coach for 16 and 17 youth, Capital City. I'm just me, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be nobody else, but at the same time, I'm trying to help kids walk in the right footsteps and show them that it's always a second chance and you don't have to go down the wrong path. And if you do choose to go down the wrong path, it's always outlet.
Let's go get into a little bit about your coaching. You're part of several programs, programs that win. So what does it mean to coach for these programs that have a higher standard than others?
I think it's hard, but it's good. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a certain level of expectation. You know what I'm saying? It's like at life, you want to win at life. You know what I'm saying? So that's a stepping stone in life. Coaching, try to teach you. You know what I'm saying? It's more just basketball terms. It's more of a mentor thing. So I just think the main thing is always in the back of the head is trying to do better, trying to be the best that you can be. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, let's talk about you had a little bit of success. So let's talk about some of the success you had over this past year coaching and some of the firsts that you might have did for your school.
Well, first thing first, 8th grade girls Washington. It was my first year. You know what I'm saying? And, out of 30 years, they haven't been to state. So that was just a major accomplishment that I think the whole community kind of rolled my coattail on that and was behind me, which I was very appreciative. And just going in there with the same mindset, like, you're just basketball players. You know what I'm saying? It's not, whether it's girls or boys, I want the same thing out of each player. To go the hardest. So being successful is a good thing, especially being early and new into the coaching. First couple of years, this is my 4th year. First year with the girls, you know what I'm saying? Just bringing a different light to the east side of Washington, you know what I'm saying?
So why is it important for the kids that you coach and the other coaches that you coach with, why is it important for all of y'all as a program to achieve success?
That's a great question right there. Well, East for Washington is great because, like I said, we don't get a lot of recognition.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was the first time in 20 years of a regional championship, and then first time in 30 years as going to state. As far as like Lanphier, we all know they have a high expectation, you know what I'm saying? Since we were kids, you know what I'm saying? They were one of the top ones. So being a part of that program and getting to coach under Blake Turner is one of the best things, and all of us being on the same page. And he has a certain level of expectation from his coaching staff and his players. So I think that kind of prepares us all for everything, and then going right into summer ball. I have a few of the Lanphier guys with me, so even not just putting my all into them or anything, I put it all into all my players, but development and getting ready, because a lot of things with AAU I know is for exposure, but a lot of people kind of put it in the back like, oh, it's not like school ball, they're not running the real program, but we try to do the development and make sure that you're understanding the game.
All right, and you kind of said it right there. Always prepare for everything, which is the name of the clothing brand as well. So something that you and Derek Briscoe started, right? So talk a little bit more about that. Why you started it and where people can find the clothing.
It started with just me and Derek. He was going to SIUE, and I used to be down there all the time. And it was just a thing like apes. It was just always in our head, like being in the zoo, being in warfare mode. You know what I'm saying? And then just was bringing it to different platforms. And honestly, RP Jarvis, he was one of the main ones when I said I was going to start a clothing line that told me, like, man, you need to do it. You know what I'm saying? And then Derek Briscoe kind of put it into perspective more for me. And then we just got together, man, and we started doing it. And just always being prepared is just a nature in life. You know what I'm saying? Even when you're down or not really feeling it, you know what I'm saying, nervous or anything, you just have to be prepared. And that doesn't mean always having the tools for it, but having the mindset for it.
For sure. Yeah. So is there anything with the coaching or the clothing brand that you feel like you've learned that you want to share with either the athletes that you coach or just the community in general? What is something that you want them to know about you?
Never give up.
Hmm.
A product of my environment, you know what I'm saying? Coming from the east side of Springfield, you can get trapped into a lot of things.
For sure.
But knowing that you can overcome those things and knowing, like I said, just because you make a bad choice doesn't mean that you have to live with that choice or that you can't turn it around for the better.
Right.
So, like I said, I always try to tell, it's always the next step, the next play. You know what I'm saying? Even in clothing, you know what I mean? Like, we started off good, then we kind of slope you down, and then now we got no idea. So it's like a rebranding type of situation for us.
Yeah. Yeah. In life, you might have to rebrand two,
Yeah,
three, four, five
different
times.
times,
Yeah.
but if you give up on the second try, how are you ever gonna get to those goals? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then, is there anything, any quotes that you want to share? Any kind of philosophies that you live by that you also want to share? I know always prepare for everything, but is there
Yeah,
anything
of course, yeah.
extended from that is something like you wake up daily with that mentality,
Um,
and of course never give up.
yeah, of course, never give up. But I think the main thing is, um, everyone excuses are like shoes. Everybody can have a pair,
Hmm.
so everybody can have an excuse. But what are you gonna do to change it? You know what I'm saying? You wake up and you can't keep getting the same results doing the same things, and then a lot of people like to blame and not take accountability. That's one of my main things. You have to take accountability. How are you going to get over that hump if you don't know what you did wrong?
Yeah. And I guess I got one more question I want to add as well. Because a lot of kids come to me and they might not know what teams are out there, or
Mm-hmm.
they may have one foot in, one foot out on like, kind of want to play, I kind of don't.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you expect somebody coming to play for you as a 15, 16, 17-year-old that's wanting to earn a college scholarship? What should they come to you prepared to do, and how hard should they be ready to work?
Well, that's the main thing. You got to work hard. Being able to be coached, man. I see that a lot nowadays. Kids can't take constructive criticism,
Right.
things like that. So I'm kind of big on coaching hard. Like it's some of the old school way, but some of the new school. I kind of
Yeah.
like put it together
Blend it in.
so they know discipline and things like that. And the main thing with our program is, any kid that I ever coach can tell you that I treat them like family.
Hmm.
So everything is more than a program to me. It's a family oriented thing. And once I'm your coach one time, I'm your coach for life.
Right. All right. I appreciate you being a
Yeah,
guest.
yes
Yes,
sir,
sir.
yes sir. Appreciate
At the
appreciate you
end,
having me, man.
I have my guests looking there and say your name and that they are good enough too.
I'm Mitch Alexander, and I'm good enough too.
Yes, sir.
Yes
Appreciate
sir,
you.
always.